What up, everybody? How are we doing? Lonnie here with Charts and Labs. Sorry. Before we get too crazy into this video, just want to remind everybody that this is not financial advice. This is just discussion on my opinions of certain things and from my experiences in order for you to be able to utilize those as familiarity for you to build a comfort and understanding in these markets so you can make your own choices with your own money kind of thing and build your wealth yourself instead of utilizing banks and other people to do it for you. If you are wanting to, I am building a Discord community. It is a free community. It is literally just a discussion place. I am looking at, let me bring it up here real quick. It is a general talk for just regular discussion, stock specifics, crypto specifics, precious metal specifics. Since we are part of the TXC community and the affiliate program, this is if we want to talk about how to make some sales and learn the commission from the affiliate program. If you want to bounce some ideas around real estate, mortgage rates, how to compound and build a real estate portfolio. Entrepreneurship, if you're looking at starting a business and you need somebody to be a sounding board, I would like the community to be that for you. And then, of course, your dogs. I like dogs, so let's show everybody their dogs kind of thing as a take a break from the finance side, but check out everybody's dogs. So this video is going to be about Bitcoin. Bitcoin is kind of like the godfather of the cryptos. It was the first, it was the OG, it is the biggest, it is the benchmark for the rest of them. It was started, you see the reports back, it was in 09. You see some tailwinds. Some people try to claim it was in 08. It hit the exchanges really in 2011. And it was originally came out as a store of value peer-to-peer payment plan. And it wasn't the most ideal peer-to-peer payment plan as since then a lot of cryptos have designed better utility for that. But today it is widely accepted as a store of value in the crypto version of gold. There's a 21 million fixed max supply. The halving cycles have worked out to be about every 4 years, and it's gone increasingly difficult to mine it to the point where a regular individual might not actually even see the benefits of trying to mine it at home. It is a proof of work mining coin using a script miner. Started with 0 coins and then was mined by a small group, and then that mining has now been opened up to where anybody can do it. It just is very difficult to capture any actual yields. It's gone through the ringer of acceptance and adoption. You now see people who used to call it a Ponzi and a scam now fully adopting it. ETFs and institution interest has garnered a lot of growth in it. And if you look at it from the last 3 months, that October run up, September, end of summer, fall, boom, we hit around October 10th, beginning of October, and we saw quite the pivot. This pivot came from the Fed, the Federal Bank, Federal Reserve, getting really hawkish with the rate discussion, and all of the risk assets like crypto really got hammered. And that caused this big sell-off, and then it's been one thing after the next of uncertainty, and it's like one level to the next level. You can see this became a level. We're going to make these be purple, and it tried to attempt to go back up and reestablish that, and that's mostly just trying to fill in this gap. Went down. We see this drop here lines up with this, so this becomes a level. And then we have this drop down, but no real confirmation on this side of it other than these two really close to each other. This is likely going to be a level. This top end of it lines up with this drop end, so there's going to probably be a small level there. So there's going to be a little channel in this 104 to 106 range. But we do see that there is a definite level right in here with a lot of wicks and a lot of pivots. So looking at this chart, those are just some quick little uh, glance zones that I can see that are going to be obviously resistance, because this is where the price pivoted and changed. We have the low for the last 3 months and the high for the last 3 months. And if we go ahead and mimic that with the Fibonacci numbers, we can see that this one is a very obvious one. This 116 is going to be a very strong number. And then we kind of come down, and this 106 level that we kind of drew is an in-betweener. But it does confirm this 103.2 level that this came down and touched, which kind of lines up with where these guys touched. So that's a pretty strong level. We should probably mark that one and keep an eye on it. This is kind of an in-between one, so I'm going to go ahead and change the color on this one so we can mark it that it is slightly different. We're going to make it be this color. Again, there's another kind of in between. We have a zone here that's in between these two, and then this one's obviously in between our in-betweener kind of thing. You do see that this is really close to this level, so I'm kind of going to be on the side of like we can kind of agree with these, because they're not exact. They're not going to always touch on it exactly and then bounce off and touch on it exactly and bounce off. They are really ranges. But we're going to make this one be that same kind of pink color. And then with all that, there's one in here also that we're going to give a line right on the top end of that. So now I'm going to delete the fib because that was just kind of an overlay test to see some zones that we're looking at. So this is a 4-hour chart for Bitcoin from the Bitstamp volume using the trading view, and then this is my indicator. It is a momentum cloud with a trailing volume weighted moving average and some pivot points. Those pivot points are trying to show where bullish momentum is kicking in or where bearish momentum is kicking in. If we zoom into just December, really, this is the very tail end of November. We're looking at right after Thanksgiving was this zone. And then this large red was the end of it, and boom, the start of December. That overnight kind of move. So most of this has all happened in December. Had a really sharp decline, nice strong momentum, sharp decline, and this is just a chop right now. There's a lot of unclarity in the economic standards around the world, and so you can see that Bitcoin is bouncing around and pivoting like crazy. And this $88,000 zone, what are we at? From 85 to 95 is getting a lot of consolidation and a lot of interest. So if you're somebody who's very long Bitcoin and has a bullish mindset of it, you like Bitcoin as a store of value, you can zoom in even more, and it is rounding, trying to reclaim this. It's got to reclaim this zone. We're going to call it 88,125. If it could reclaim that in the next day or two, you're going to see probably another attempt to get over this big wick right here. That $90,000 price level is going to be probably resistant, but also a point of interest. So if you're looking to add Bitcoin, I say that from looking at this, if you can get anything under 90, that's your good value, and you're wanting it to hold over this 84. We know that it went and tested 80 way back here in late November. It tested the $80,000 support, and we don't want to see that happen again. We're looking for an uptrend. So from this to this, there's a definite beginning to an uptrend that we're starting to see. So if we can get that wick right there, and we can get to that level right there, let's make this be green so we can see that this is the uptrend. So if I'm looking to build a position because I believe that Bitcoin is going to go up more, As long as it's above this, it's in a bullish trend, and I'm comfortable adding. I like to buy under 91 and let it ride, and then decide if what it's going to do at 93, and then come back and then add again. Of course, obviously 90 is going to be the first level that it's got to test. Oh, not a ray. We want to do the horizontal ray. And this 90 is going to be a white one because it's not a true level. It's kind of a very short-term channel, and it's mostly a psychological number. That is 90,200, 90,000 flat, whatever is what I would tell you. I didn't want to get too crazy trying to click it, but current stuff going on in the sector, you got to keep an eye on the headwinds because Bitcoin and all crypto really right now is in a point of inflection. You have the IRS changing how they are going to perceive crypto. You have the SEC changing how they're going to perceive crypto. You have the banks and institutions adopting it, which is bullish in my eyes. If you look at Wells Fargo just announced that they're going to accept Bitcoin as collateral for lending. Bank of America just did recently. Oh. And a few, and I think J.P. Morgan is doing it. You're seeing a lot more adoption. These ETFs are picking up. There's inflows now. I think there was just a rebalancing in October and November where they were, shaking out the weak hands. There was record high amounts of leveraged accounts and leveraged trading where people were getting just kind of perma bullish. And one thing that I've learned in markets is when retail and the smaller guys are too one-sided and seem to be winning too easily because there's too much good going on, you gotta shake it up. The big institutions don't want to pay the premium; they want to make a premium. So a lot of times you see a shakeout happen where, despite good news, the price goes the wrong way, and it leaves you confused in what's going on. And then there's some FUD articles coming around that kind of scare you into maybe selling early, and it kind of loses its value. And then as soon as you lose hope, all of a sudden pivot back to the euphoria and oh happy days kind of thing. So this just line, I'm gonna move it over with that one. Likely going to be the resistance to this needing to move up. We're going to make it be blue. Sure, I don't really like blue, but this is your 1 month little double peak at the resistance, and probably going to see that for the rest of the month going into next year. But if you're bullish on it, I can see it. If you're bearish on it and skeptical, I can see that also. This is looking like it's trying to find some support on this uptrend. As far as the crypto sentiment, it's getting more and more stronger throughout the whole community than ever. As far as what your preferences, as far as proof of work coins or the proof of stake coins, good God, oh, sorry. That's going to be kind of a preference. A lot of people really bank on or value crypto based on the utility or based on the scarcity. Those are kind of the two driving factors of what is creating the most value. Scarcity coins are going to give you that store of value and have a action similar to gold, which is why Bitcoin is ranked that. Litecoin is claiming the title of crypto silver. I kind of joke and like that must mean that TXC is the copper of the cryptos, and it's the penny building its way up to value. Hopefully, it gets adopted as well as these other ones. But the big godfather of the crypto is Bitcoin. So any other project that you follow, even if it's a proof of stake like Ethereum or Solana, or a completely different program, not proof of work, not mining, nothing like Bitcoin, Bitcoin will always be the benchmark and will always be a driving factor in the value of any crypto. If it's a brand new startup coin that just came out of nowhere, if it's a meme coin, if it's a small project like TXC, if it's a big project like XRP, Bitcoin will always have an influence on it. So as you're going through crypto markets and you're trying to decide the value of your token or your coin or whatever project you're looking at, always in the back of your mind, it's worth following Bitcoin to see what Bitcoin's doing. And then anytime you see, Bitcoin's up right now and the rest of these guys are down, kind of leading the way. And so I would watch to see if Bitcoin can continue to move forward, reclaiming this volume weighted moving average of 88,124. So if we saw 88 or 89, 89,000 right here, watch how the rest of the crypto world will follow and become green as well. So something to look at while you're building your portfolio. Diversity is key. There's ways to store value in real gold or crypto gold, and there's definitely value. That's why you got BlackRock and J.P. Morgan and these other guys looking at it as a real asset to have and to diversify in. Um, so just a little touch on Bitcoin. Quick look at its chart for the last month. If you go into Pionex, this is the 1 hour. Again, this is kind of it goes back into September, and nothing really crazy. Nice kind of clean follow through on Bitcoin, and then that was mine on CoinMarketCap. This is a fun one to look at because as you look at other projects, it's kind of funny to see where the money is on them. And when you look at the 24-hour volume by finance, I'm assuming that's a decentralized one. Oh, no, it's not. It is this. Maybe it was. Hold on. Oh, no, it's a centralized one. You can see the difference in these exchanges. So a decentralized exchange, um, these are like Hyperliquid, OneDex, Thorchain. Thorchain's probably one of the more popular ones that you'll see a lot. Aster, Dexalot. Hyperliquid is on here twice because it's got different pairings. And then when you go into the centralized exchanges, these are ones that are more report more, and you can see that the volume jumps up massively on these guys. But Pinex is leading. CoinP, Hasbit, Pikel and Pinex we know are sister companies. DarkX Exchange, CoinUp, CoinW. When you throw in all of them, and we're looking at the volume, volume's kind of down on the big leaders of what they normally are doing. And CoinW, Bitmart is typically always a bigger one that people like to use. But look, just huge volume on Bitcoin. It's a bigger price, so of course trading a token is going to make it is going to make the volume much larger. But the volume to market cap in the last 24 hours is 1.52. So just as a comparison, because a lot of people that are following my channel like Texacoin, look at the difference of what that is. The volume, the 24-hour volume of the market cap of Bitcoin was 1.5%. It's trading 1.5% of the total market cap every single day, and Texacoin's not even trading 0.5% of its market cap, and that market cap is based off of the circulating supply, which is the total supply, self-reported circulating supply, not the max. Just like Bitcoin. Bitcoin is the same. They're not doing it off of their max. Yeah, 1.5% to 0.3%. So that just gives you some a comparison purpose, the Godfather of it, and then the new kid on the block. So that video, hope this video helps you get a little bit of an understanding of the big names like Bitcoin. And then I did a quick little shout out to TXC for all my followers that like TXC and are in that project. I'm in that project as well. But I just wanted to kind of touch on that for everybody. But yeah, a lot of uncertainty in crypto. It's not just crypto, because all the tech sectors for stocks and a lot of the other ones, risk assets are all kind of down October, November, December. And so once money kind of frees up and liquidity becomes available, there ultimately will be a point of value that this will reach, that these risk assets will become a discount, and people will come in and jump in and start buying them. And we can see that Bitcoin is definitely establishing itself that it is trying to go up. It is in more of an uptrend than it looks like. So this is a good sign for crypto in my eyes, because I'm not looking at it as just Bitcoin. Bitcoin itself has value. Everybody knows Bitcoin ain't going anywhere. But Bitcoin's success spills over into the rest of the cryptos. And I'm going to jump into some of those other ones in the rest of these videos in this series. Just to give everybody kind of a basis understanding, look at the charts and get some comparisons, what we're seeing, what's the difference and such, and what we're looking at, all of these. So if you are Satoshi Nakamoto, congratulations on being extremely rich. The fun is in the, there you go, was 2000, described in 2008, but it really came out in January of 2009. Peer-to-peer online currency meaning transactions, but it kind of became a store of value is kind of what we were talking about. Cool. So there's Bitcoin for you guys. I think everybody knows it. I don't need to go too crazy on what its properties are. What I'm doing for this series that I'm looking at, these are my picks that I have. I'm going to be doing Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, XRP, Link, TXC, Avalanche, Litecoin, XLM, because I kind of link XLM with XRP, even though they are kind of different, and then HBAR. These are kind of my top 10 or so of the cryptos that I like. I normally, when I'm looking at cryptos, I tend to follow this top 20. This is where I normally stay in. The Bitcoin, Ethereum, BNB, XRP, Solana, Tron got really big really quick. Dogecoin, Cardano, Bitcoin Cash, Chainlink, the Hyperliquid exchange, Zcash has came up as kind of an exciting one. There's XLM, Litecoin, Sui, Avalanche, Hedera, the HBAR, Shiba Inu, World Liberty, and Toncoin. So those are the top 20 market caps of crypto, and those are typically where I stay when I'm trading. But again, once you find a project that you like and you want to jump into it, just make sure you do plenty of research and then never overcommit on anything that is a risk asset that you are not wanting to lose. And then it makes it easier to make logical decisions. So hope you guys enjoyed. Quick little intro into Bitcoin and a quick peek at the chart to see if we got any value in taking a position here or building. And it kind of looks like it might be. So let's see. I'm sure there's plenty of people who, if you are investing in crypto, you probably have invested in Bitcoin or before. So there's kind of a beeline to the 89 and see where it goes from there. Have a good day, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.